Constantly, we are dynamic,
energetic,
youthful,
but most importantly, entertaining.
But you really can't tell.
Tunawapeleka na riang manze.
as we unveil our new Luku Luku.
The procedure of reporting assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority is simplified in the following easy steps. Step 1. Write an email to holders at ufaa.go.ke to request your profile to be created. Step 2. A link will be sent to the email provided for activation of the account. Step 3. Click on the link to activate the profile and change the password immediately. Step 4. For subsequent access, use the link provided here. In case of forgotten password, use Forgot Password link to create a new one. Step 5. After login, click on Assets to submit records, and if the client has subsidiary, you can create more users and manage users. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Hello and welcome to Channel 1 Weekend. My name is Allan, Aoko, standing in for Purity Museo. I'm not alone tonight. I'm not alone because we have Byron Abuli right there for sign language interpretation. And what a show we have for you tonight, including the finals of the CAF Confederation Cup, where we have the Egyptian Pyramids versus the RSB Berkane from Morocco fighting it out tonight in the finals here on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. But first, we have highlights for you for today's news.
Unless we discuss inclusivity on the basis of the people who are locked out of the economic cycle by poverty and unemployment, that inclusivity will not be complete.
Clamor for constitutional change. Opinion remains divided over the contents of the Building Bridges to Unity report as Kenyans await the public unveiling on Monday. Selfless leadership. President Kenyatta challenges Kenyans to develop a culture of selfless service, pledges to continue partnering with churches. The curve that won't bend. Kenya's COVID-19 death toll hits the 900 mark after 6 more people succumb to the virus. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has warned that the Building Bridges initiative may suffer a humiliating defeat should it fail to accommodate the needs of the ordinary citizenry. Speaking in Kakamega County, the Deputy President accused some leaders of using the clamor for constitutional amendments to fulfill their selfish political ends. Ruto spoke even as the Building Bridges to Unity Task Force report continued to attract varied reactions.
Deputy President William Ruto has been bold with his intent to go against the grain as the clamour for constitutional amendments reaches the home stretch. On Sunday, the Deputy President warned that the reggae train risked derailment if it was being used to advance partisan political interests.
That those who are telling us nobody can stop reggae, whether you like it or not, musipende, mupende, musipende, I want to request them to give us a break and to give this nation a chance to be able to discuss every issue.
The Deputy President, who spent the better part of Sunday in Kakamega County, urged Kenyans to shun divisive leaders and partisan politics.
Unless we discuss inclusivity on the basis of the people who are locked out of the economic cycle by poverty and unemployment, that inclusivity will not be complete.
It must include both leaders and the people. Na sisi tunataka tuzingatie yale mambo ambayo yatahusisha mwananchi wa kawaida, mama mboga, kijana wa bodaboda, mfanyi biashara mdogo, hata mambo yake pia yakuwe pale kwa BBI.
Sasa hii document imetolewa. We should treat it as a draft. And now we have a proper national conversation and total inclusion of all Kenyans. Ndio sasa tutoe mjadala mzuri.
The leaders spoke even as the Kongamano la Mageuzi movement poked holes in the building bridges to Unity Task Force report.
These proposals are especially intended to benefit a few members of the political elite and not for the overall benefit of Kenyans.
The overriding agenda of the BBI is to water down our progressive Katiba in the process create more eating opportunities for members of the inter-ethnic elite clubs that have dominated state and government power since independence.
Proponents of the Building Bridges initiative are however optimistic that the document is Kenya's best yet to be addressing the county's socio-political economic challenges.
Nairobi tuko locked. Na tuko locked, nasema tuko ndani ya BBI. Na BBI inaenda kuleta mabadiliko Kenya.
Religious leaders have in the meantime urged Kenyans to read and internalize the BBI reports to enable them make informed decisions.
We support all the constitutional reforms that seeks to ensure that Kenya remain a united, peaceful, inclusive, equitable and prosperous nation devoid of ethnic antagonism and divisive politics.
If you have the right knowledge, we can now use that for technological advancement, for innovation, for creativity, and then the hands will take over that creativity and innovation to be able to do things that not only put food on the table, but also drive the economy agenda of this country.
Meanwhile, the National Civil Society Congress has demanded that civic education takes precedence in the debate of the Building Bridges to Unified Task Force report.
There are so many substantive issues in those annexes particularly, which deal with policies, so there are those policy measures. There's the whole raft of constitutional amendments or areas of constitutional amendments. There are what they call administrative measures, and there's a whole raft of legislative bills. All these things require public participation as per the Constitution.
The group spoke even as the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers expressed reservations with the task force move to propose the broadening of the mandate of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
Hili sio jambo nzuri sana kwa wafanyikazi wa Kenya, na kwa hivyo tunapoendelea na mazungumzo ya BBI tutakuwa tunaelekeza zile vitengo ambavyo vitakuwa vinaishughulikia, kama ni parliament ama ni wale watakaokuwa wanaboresha zaidi haya maandishi ya BBI kushughulikia kuhakikisha kwamba SRC isipewe mamlaka mingi zaidi kiasi cha kwamba vyama vya wafanyikazi sio hivyo ndio vitakuwa vinaweza kuzungumzia mazungumzo ya wafanyikazi.
Kuppet said though it supports the task force report, it will be prudent to have the final document reflect the wishes of all Kenyans before its implementation. Yusuf Farah, Channel 1 News.
Meanwhile, it is all systems go ahead of the official launch of the Building Bridges to Unity Task Force report that will set the stage for a public discourse on constitutional changes. This week has been characterized by discussions on proposals touching on the proposed structure of the executive, the composition of parliament, war on graft, devolution, and the fate of women, youth, and special interest groups. Safin Achieng Auma brings us the details of key issues that are likely to take center stage at the launch of the report tomorrow.
27th November 2019, the first draft of the BBI report was launched at the Bomas of Kenya.
Taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda.
And on Monday, the 26th of October, nearly a year later, all roads will lead back to the Bomas of Kenya as the BBI Task Force report is made public. The draft report by the task force was handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga on Wednesday at State Lodge in Kisii.
Hiyo ndio ripoti ambayo itatupa mwongozo na mwelekeo kama taifa.
But even before the official launch of the 204-page document, debate remains rife among stakeholders. Of concern is the proposal to change the executive structure to create the position of Prime Minister and 2 deputies in a bid to cure the winner-takes-it-all kind of politics.
And what this document seeks to do is to bring us together and find out how we can protect that common territory called Kenya. Not for an individual, not for a community, not for the rich against the poor, or the poor against the rich.
Another hot button has been how the report seeks to address the elusive gender gap, with the report proposing the scrapping of the 47 positions of county woman representative, instead calling for the election of 2 senators, 1 male and 1 female in each county.
We are expecting that the proposals that we have made on ensuring that the 2/3 gender principle is achieved will be in the BBI report.
The composition of parliament is also proposed to change significantly to allow a leader of opposition who will be nominated from the first presidential runner-up who gains at least 25% of the total votes cast. The devolution carrot, however, seems to have earned the report support from counties, with county bosses supporting the proposed increase of revenue allocation to counties from 15% to 35%.
Tunataka maendeleo katika kila kona. Tunataka pesa nyingi zije katika serikali zetu za ukatuzi.
Health workers have also been a dissatisfied lot this week with the proposals.
When we ask for a constitutional commission and you come, you cheat this top cream of this land, that you are bringing a constitutional body through an amendment of an act of parliament, you must be tough to yourself. We will oppose PBI.
Calls for citizen participation and honest engagement have also reverberated.
This constitutional consensus that we are trying to build as a nation, it must be devoid of the reggae bravado that is divisive and that has the potential to create winners and losers, has the potential to create us versus them.
The launch of the report will set the stage for a clear discussion on civic education and if the final draft will be voted on during a referendum. For Channel 1 News, I'm Safin Achieng Auma.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged Kenyans to develop a culture of selfless service, pledging to continue partnering with the church in delivery of key services. This comes as PCEA moderator Reverend Dr. Julius Mwamba hailed his efforts in uniting the country through the BBI process.
Sunday morning at PCEA Tumutumu in Nyeri County. President Uhuru Kenyatta joined the congregation for a special service to commemorate 100 years since the ordination of the pioneer group of 43 church elders. the president choosing to keep off the BBI politics, instead challenging Kenyans to develop a culture of selfless service.
Tuwe watu ambao watajicommit to service. And by committing yourself to service, mambo haya mengine yote yatakuja. Na nchi yetu itaboreka. Na taifa letu litakuwa. Na taifa letu litakuwa na amani. Na hiyo ndio lengo letu.
At the same time, he applauded the church for working with government in development of, among others, the education and healthcare systems. He also announced a donation of 100 million shillings for the church towards the completion of an ongoing expansion of the PCEA Tumutumu Mission Hospital, as well as revealed plans were at an advanced stage to award a charter to the PCEA University.
The Kenyan government will continue to partner with the church in the provision of services to our people. And this is something that through my administration we shall continue to achieve. Kwa hivyo, you have a partner in me, you have a partner in my government.
PCEA moderator retired Reverend Dr. Julius Mwamba, in his sermon, hailed the president's effort to unite the country through the BBI process. He called on Kenyans to read the document objectively and make an informed decision.
Our prayer is that, one, we are requesting all people in this nation, and one, to be sober as we read this book. Because when we read it from a sober mind, we shall be able to move this country to the next level through the aim, the target that which was there from the very beginning of creating an atmosphere that is accommodative to each and every other person.
Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Channel 1 News.
Meanwhile, Kenya's death toll from COVID-19 has hit the 900 mark after 6 more people succumbed to the virus. The disease burden has also risen after 931 new cases were reported from 6,691 samples tested. This comes as a WHO has warned of a global spike in infections, urging countries to work together to lower the disease burden. Emily K. with the latest data by the Ministry of Health that continues to paint a picture which is grim.
The country's official death toll from COVID-19 now stands at 902, while 16 others are fighting for their lives in the high dependency unit, 18 in the intensive care unit, while 49 others are in need of supplementary oxygen. This is the latest data by the Ministry of Health that continues to show a spike of infections as 931 others tested positive from the virus. While the number of those requiring HDU, ICU and supplementary oxygen decreased, the number of those admitted in various health facilities stood at 1,198 and 3,437 are on home-based isolation and care. The total caseload in the country now stands at 49,721, with the cumulative tests at 659,920. The new cases were spread out within 30 counties, with Nairobi County leading with 333 cases. The ministry also said 333 people have recovered from the disease, 256 from the home-based care program, while 77 have been discharged from various hospitals, bringing the total recoveries to 34,209. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
Now, the Kenya Union of Special Needs Education Teachers are questioning the integrity of the recently concluded Grade 4 and Class 8 assessment. The teachers say the security process was lax and the results may not be a true reflection of the status of education. Now, Grade 4 and Class 8 candidates sat for a 3-day assessment exam last week to assess their level of knowledge after nearly 7 months of closure of schools.
Grade 4 learners and Class 8 candidates sat for Term 1 assessment examination between Wednesday and Friday last week, following a long break occasioned by the pandemic. It is this exercise that is of concern to the Kenya Union of Special Needs Education Teachers. The Union Secretary General James Tarome says the examinations were not above board.
Because the way these examinations have been handled
it is in a very awkward way. How comes the head teachers are sent to the cybers to go and download an exam? The Kenya Examination Council, the way they have been administering the examination in the previous years, that's the way they could have done to disperse these exams to each and every institution where there are candidates. The authenticity of this test lacks merit.
At the same time, Torome says he has continued to receive reports from head teachers. The monies for schools are yet to hit their school accounts, despite assurances by government.
The minister promised the country that is going to provide sanitizers and brochures. And we have not seen even a single brochure in any institution. Let him move with his speed. He should be serious with this matter, because the way things are, the education sector is dying slowly and slowly.
Separately, residents of Gishuhiro, Kiambu County are decrying an increase in the use of border riders and school-going children to peddle drugs.
Nasikia tunatoka huko pande ya Dagoretti na nikufukuzwa walifukuzwa kwa sababu ya kuuza hii mapagi na dawa na sasa hapa anauzia watoto wetu, tunataka aende, hakuna neno lingine tunataka. Anashikwa leo, kesho tunamuona hapa.
They're now calling on the national government to intervene, saying little has been done by the local administration despite numerous complaints. Caroline Kamara reporting for Channel 1 News.
Well, that story by Caroline Kamau takes us to a first short quick break. We'll be right back.
The procedure of reporting assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority simplified in the following easy steps. Step 1. Write an email to holders at ufaa.go.ke to request your profile to be created. Step 2. A link will be sent to the email provided for activation of the account. Step 3. Click on the link to activate the profile and change the password immediately. Step 4. For subsequent access, use the link provided here. In case of forgotten password, use Forgot Password link to create a new one. Step 5. After login, click on Assets to submit records, and if the client has subsidiary, you can create more users and manage users. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
The CAF Confederation Cup Final live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 this Sunday, the 25th of October 2020. RS Berkane, featuring in their second consecutive CAF Confederation Cup Final, takes on Pyramids Club of Egypt, first-time finalists in a breathtaking final which will be staged in Rabat, Morocco. Cruised to the final by eliminating compatriot Hassania Gadir by 2-1, while Pyramids axed Guinean club Horoya by hitting them 2-0. Who will be crowned the 2020 CAF Confederation Cup champions? Find out by watching the action live on KBC Channel 1 this Sunday, kicking off at 10 p.m. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is a KBC Channel 1 Weekend with me, Allan, Aoko, and Byron Abuli for sign language interpretation. Now, moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has led the nation in mourning the death of the chair of the defunct committee of experts, Nzamba, Kitonga. Kitonga passed away on Saturday evening with reports indicating he suffered a cardiac arrest. The late Kitonga was instrumental in birthing the 2010 Constitution.
The legal fraternity and the country at large is mourning the sudden death of Nzamba Kitonga, who passed away at the age of 64. Kitonga is said to have suffered a cardiac arrest on Saturday evening after attending a burial.
This went down all the way to NCS,
senators, governors.
He shot into the limelight during deliberations to change the country's constitution after he was appointed to head the committee of experts as the chairman, which later birthed the 2010 constitution that is currently a subject of debate amid proposed amendments. He has been vocal in the ongoing discussions around the BBI task force report, having proposed a hybrid system of governance as contained in the task force report. In his message of condolence, President Uhuru Kenyatta said his death was a blow to Kenya, especially as the country is gearing up for fundamental constitutional reforms through the ongoing BBI process. On his social media account, ODM leader Raila Odinga said his death is an irreparable loss to the country's quest to improve the 2010 constitution. LSK President Nelson Havi said the burden and pain of his untimely death had heavily weighed down the Law Society of Kenya. Caroline Kaba reporting for Channel 1 Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, over 900 women in Nairobi, Kiambu and Mombasa have benefited from free cancer screening services. The program targets women aged above 25 years who are screened for breast and cervical cancer in a bid to decrease preventable deaths through early detection. More details in the county briefs.
These were the scenes at Dandora Primary School in Nairobi, Witaithia Primary School in Thika, Singawa Medical Clinic in Likoni, and Majengo Hall in Mtwapa, Mombasa, as women lined up for free cancer screening. The initiative is aimed at creating awareness on regular self-screening.
What we're doing is we are sensitizing them on breast cancer and cervical cancer, which are the two major cancers that kill women in our country. Breast cancer is number 1 and cervical cancer is number 2.
Meanwhile, vehicles inspection centers have been urged to ensure thorough inspection of vehicles to reduce the number of road accidents on Kenyan roads. Elsewhere, Kisii County Public Health Director Dr. Richard Onkwara is warning locals against shying away from approved health facilities in fear of being quarantined in case they test positive for coronavirus. And still in Kisii, the national government has been urged to assist hundreds of Kenyans rendered jobless in the soapstone industry. Players in the multi-million shilling sector say business has been devastated by the pandemic, accusing the county government of doing little to cushion them from the effects of the pandemic.
Imekuwa sasa hatujapata kazi karibu mwaka mmoja. Tumekuwa na shida ya kupata mapato yetu venye tulikuwa tunapatanga kama kawaida. Venye tumekuwa nje, hata upande wa kupata pesa chakula imekuwa ni shida. Na baadhi yetu venye tulikuwa tumezoea hii kazi nyingine hatujakuwa na uwezo vizuri wa kuifanya kama kazi zingine huku nje.
In Kandara, Murang'a County, a woman who was kidnapped and sexually assaulted is demanding justice, accusing police of doing little to bring the perpetrators to book. The woman says she has been receiving threats from the perpetrators.
Sasa hata walikuwa wananiuliza kama kuna sauti yenye naweza jua hapo ni ya mtu fulani, nawaambia hapana. Kwani serikali, nilikuwa naomba tu serikali nisaidie juu kila mtu ako na haki yake.
In Garissa, the national government has been urged to put in place measures to cushion pastoralists against the effects of looming drought in northeastern region. The Kenya Livestock Marketing Council wants the government to roll out a livestock uptake program to avert loss of livestock.
Hatutaki serikali ichukue hatua wakati ya mwisho ambaye watu wameangamia. Tunataka mpango ifanywe sahi. Tunataka offtake ya ng'ombe na mbuzi.
Finally, a family in Gitambaya Estate in Ruiru, Kiambu County is appealing to well-wishers to help them raise 1.5 million shillings for their son to undergo heart surgery.
Samaria wema wangenisaidia mtoto wangu afanyiwe operation, ningeshukuru sana.
Good Luck Mwambi needs a corrective procedure after he was diagnosed with a hole in the heart. Donations can be channeled to 0724 490 185 or 0705 934 850 or paybill number 801 4567, account name Good Luck Mwambi. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
And it's time to keep fit on sports. And Harambee Stars tactician Jacob Ghost Mulee has named the provisional squad ahead of the two-legged 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Comoros next month. Now, Mulee has recalled experienced Finland-based goalkeeper Arnold Origi in a move aimed at adding a touch of experience to the team. Captain Victor Wanyama, Michael Olunga and Joanna Omolo, who missed out on the friendly match against Zambia, have also been called up for the crucial qualifier. Now, Gor Mahia's rookie forward Benson Omala and Sofapaka captain Eli Esieche have also been included in the squad. Local-based players are expected to kick off a non-residential training on Wednesday, while their foreign-based counterparts are set to start checking in on November 2nd. The first leg will be played at Kasarani Stadium on November 11th, while the second leg has been slated for November 15th. The national boxing team, popularly known as Hit Squad, has stepped up training ahead of the Mabingwa International Tournament slated for 5th to 9th December in Tanzania. 15 pugilists will represent Kenya in the regional tournament.
According to Boxing Federation of Kenya Communication Director Duncan Kuria, the Mabingwa Regional Tournament will act as a training ground for Kenyan boxers as they prepare for international assignments.
Already we have 2 boxers who have qualified for Olympic Games, so we need to keep them in top shape so that when we have any tournament coming for as a preparation tournament for the pre-Olympic qualifiers and the Olympic game itself, the boxers are in top shape.
Olympic Games bound duo Captain Nico Koth and Christine Ongare will lead the Kenyan contingent in the 4-day tournament.
Unfortunately, at the moment we are not able to do sparring and pad work because of COVID regulations. We intend to write to the Minister of Sports to allow us to do those kind of training, because boxing is a contact sport, yes, and normally you get hit on the face and you need to be sharp to react when you see a punch. If you do not prepare to do that kind of training, then it will be very difficult for you to react during a match situation.
Africa flyweight silver medalist Shafi Bakari, Joseph Shigali, Victor Dhiambo, Elizabeth Akinyi and Elizabeth Ndiego will also be part of the Kenyan squad. 6 countries will take part in the tournament, including host Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda and Zambia. Meanwhile, Kuria revealed that 11 Kenyan boxers will head to France in May for Olympic qualifiers after failing to make the cut during the African qualifiers held early this year in Dakar, Senegal. Karanja David for Channel 1 Sports.
Meanwhile, Embu West Assistant County Commissioner Japheth Olung has devised a unique approach to curb the vices affecting the youths in the area by engaging them in sports. Olung says he decided to join a local soccer team, Gaturi FC, where he mentors the youths in order to encourage them to stay away from crime. With the rate of unemployment among the youths increasing day by day, many young people have found themselves engaging in illicit brew and other forms of crime, causing friction between them and the law enforcers. Olung says Mashore, the local illicit brew and smoking of bang, has been the biggest challenge in the area. But through sports, many youths have changed their ways.
Because as I said, I want to demystify hiyo ukubwa ya Assistant County Commissioner. Normally watu wanaogopa sana DO, watu wanaogopa Assistant County Commissioner. But I wanted to now to be a bit different from how other people do it. So I engage myself in playing football because I love football. I play football. I play number 5 with the team in the background. So apart from playing soccer, these are guys that are very young guys. So I bring them together. We talk, we share, and I mentor them, so that we at least reduce mambo ya crime within this area.
And now Habib Nurmagomedov has announced his retirement from mixed martial arts after successfully defending his UFC lightweight against Justin Gaethje at UFC 254. Now, the Nurmagomedov extended his unbeaten record to 29-0 with a second-round submission win in Abu Dhabi, his third successful title defense, having previously beaten Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier.
UFC President Dana White revealed after the fight that Nurmagomedov had competed with a broken foot and that by retiring with a 29-0 record, he has to be considered as one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time.
What I want from UFC Tuesday, you guys have to put me on #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world because I deserve this.
Let him take some time off. Let him heal, not physically but emotionally heal. With what he's going through from losing his father. I said, we're all lucky we got to see what we saw tonight.
Elsewhere, Bayern Munich striker Robert Lewandowski made more history with a hat-trick in a comfortable 5-0 win over Eintracht Frankfurt. Elsewhere, Moise Kean scored his first 2 goals for Paris Saint-Germain as they beat Ligue 1's bottom side Dijon.
Again after the pass from Müller, and this is Lewandowski!
Lewandowski is the first player to have scored 10 Bundesliga goals in the opening 5 rounds of games. The poll opened the scoring after 10 minutes before heading a second and then netting from Douglas Costa's pass. Elsewhere, Moise Kean scored his first 2 goals for Paris Saint-Germain as they beat Ligue 1 bottom side Dijon. The 20-year-old Italian on loan from Everton volleyed home Michel Bacca's cross after 3 minutes. He guided a second into an empty net after great work from Neymar, who earlier hit the post with a header. Keane was injured while blocking a clearance after 73 minutes, and his replacement Kylian Mbappe scored twice, with Neymar involved in both. In the Italian league, Romelu Lukaku continued his hot scoring streak as Inter Milan beat Genoa in Serie A. Lukaku has scored 15 goals in his last 13 games for Inter Milan and Belgium. Lukaku played a 1-2 with substitute Nicolo Barella before scoring their opener.
This is Barella, and Romelu Lukaku could be in here. Brilliantly done.
And Danilo headed in Andrea Ronaccia's corner.
Headed goalwards, it's in from D'Ambrosio.
Antonio Conte's Inter Milan have picked up to 10 points from 5 games this season, 2 behind leaders AC Milan.
Well, that's how we cap it up here on Channel 1 Weekend. My name is Allan, Aoko, and sign language interpretation, I was joined by Byron Abuli. And don't forget, we still do have the CAF Confederation Cup final tonight with the Pyramids and RSB Bekane of Morocco. The Pyramids, of course, the Egyptians. And I will now leave you in the able hands of Yusuf Farah with the weather.
A very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from. Many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. My name is Yusuf Farah here with your Channel 1 weather update. Tonight, rainfall is expected in the east and west of the Rift Valley parts of the country. 12 degrees makes Kericho the coldest tonight. Here is how the things will be looking. Tomorrow morning, the capital city wakes up to rains accompanied by sunny intervals. The same will be experienced in Meru, Nyeri and Kericho. For coastal residents, expect partly cloudy conditions with sunny intervals as well. In the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms in Kisumu, Kericho, Kitale and Eldoret. For residents of Mombasa, Lamu, Malindi and Kilifi, expect partly cloudy conditions with sunny intervals as well. For residents of Mandera, partly cloudy conditions and sunny intervals. Looking at the temperatures now, Mandera highs of 36, lows of 26, Garissa highs of 37, lows of 25, and Kisumu highs of 27, lows of 19. That wraps up the local weather forecast. Many thanks again for keeping it Channel 1. I leave you with the international weather forecast now. Good night and stay safe.